Phillip Schofield's attempt at a television comeback through his three-part Channel 5 series, Cast Away, has sparked controversy, with insiders claiming the presenter's narrative doesn't align with their recollections. What was framed as an opportunity for Schofield to share his side of the story following his departure from This Morning and the fallout from his personal scandal has now been labeled as a pity party by many of his former colleagues. The discrepancies in his claims and their perspectives paint a vastly different picture of what truly happened. In Cast Away, Phillip Schofield seeks to address the events that led to his career's unraveling, particularly his scandal involving a much younger colleague. From his falling out with Holly Willoughby to his controversial resignation from ITV, the show highlights Schofield's perspective on the situation. However, insiders from ITV and those who work closely with Schofield have come forward to dispute several of his key claims. One of the most contentious points centers around his handling of the situation with his brother, Tim Schofield, who was convicted of sexually abusing a minor. Phillip claimed in the show that he immediately reported his brother to the police, but his court statement suggests a much more hesitant approach, where he initially wanted no further details and only later decided to distance himself after the guilty verdicts were handed down. The contrast between his public portrayal and his initial reluctance left insiders questioning the integrity of his narrative. Another major point of contention is Schofield's insistence that ITV fired him due to the negative publicity surrounding his brother's crimes. He alleges that despite being transparent with ITV about his brother's trial, the network used the scandal as an excuse to terminate him. However, insiders at ITV recall a very different version of events. According to them, Schofield stepped down voluntarily following his fallout with Holly Willoughby and mounting pressure from the public and the media, especially after he admitted to lying about his affair. Schofield's resignation from This Morning was positioned as an effort to protect the show, but insiders suggest it was more about damage control as the situation became untenable. The disconnect between Schofield's claims and how others within ITV remember things is most evident when discussing his relationship with Willoughby. In Cast Away, Schofield accuses Willoughby of throwing him under the bus during his departure. However, sources close to Willoughby claim that their friendship had already fractured when Schofield issued a public statement praising their bond without consulting her. Willoughby was reportedly blindsided by the statement, and this misstep further strained their relationship. Schofield's portrayal of being abandoned by his colleagues contradicts the account of others, who suggest he was the one who mishandled the situation, putting his career and friendships in jeopardy. The show also featured Schofield defending himself against accusations of toxicity behind the scenes at This Morning. He dismissed claims of a toxic workplace as media fabrication, denying any such environment existed while he was there. Yet, reports from a DCMS committee and testimonies from individuals within ITV suggest otherwise. Allegations of bullying, discrimination, and harassment have been raised by former staff members, pointing to an unpleasant culture during Schofield's time on the show. Although an external review did not conclusively find toxicity, the discord between Schofield's portrayal and the lived experiences of others continues to fuel skepticism about his version of events. Schofield's attempts to evoke sympathy also come under scrutiny when he claims he would have faced different treatment if he were a straight man. He argues that had his affair been with a younger woman rather than a younger man, the reaction from the public and the industry would have been far less severe. ITV insiders have sharply rebuffed this notion, insisting that the issue was not his sexual orientation but the deception surrounding his actions. They maintain that lying about the affair would have had the same consequences regardless of who it was with, highlighting the fundamental breach of trust involved. Phillip Schofield's attempt to reclaim his narrative through Cast Away has left many with more questions than answers. While the series was intended to present his side of the story, the divergence between his claims and the recollections of his former colleagues at ITV have only deepened the controversy. As the discrepancies continue to unfold, Schofield's efforts to rehabilitate his public image may have the opposite effect, with his former insiders painting a vastly different, more complex picture of his downfall. Whether the full truth ever comes to light, Schofield's journey remains a cautionary tale about the perils of fame, trust, trust and the cost of maintaining a facade.